sit in the place and everything. We get those basic commands out of the way first in there, and then the dogs go out to the park and to the stores, and then they start working with me. Hi, Stormie. I know, you're trying. She's...
Yes, okay.
Yeah, she does this thing. I'm really not, she's not pulling on me too bad. She does this thing where when she's like trying to be good, she's like, like she starts like running in place and like fighting demons to not, you know, break the rules. She's a puppy, and like honestly, that's very normal behavior for half into the program.
How is she doing this? I don't know how to put it, like because I do hear a lot of dogs whining and crying in the back.
Oh yeah, so okay, the dogs are there. So we have a lot of specifically like sport dogs, and sport dogs like attention, and so. Those dogs that, yeah, we have like one dog in there. Her name is Dulce, and she's like kind of like a sporty Rottweiler. We're doing like protection work with her, like she's gonna bite the sleeve and everything. I will take her out to pee. She'll go out there, poop and pee, and like I'll hang out with her for a couple minutes. I will put her back on that crate, and if I bring another dog out, she'll be quiet until another dog comes out, and then she starts whining it again. So. No, I appreciate any question like that. I mean, I'd rather you just ask a question up front than you be like uneasy, you know? Because I don't want that. Like, I want you to know like your dog's safe. I'm not like, I don't get a high off of like making dogs sad. You know, like I'm not.
You want to know? Oops, sorry, got your eye. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh yeah, so what I was saying, so that's the next 2 weeks I'm going to be working with her a lot, and we're going to be taking her out. Right now she's got a good place and a good sit, and I'll have Claudia show that off. She's around you guys right now, so she's a little more amped than usual. With me, she doesn't pull on the leash at all anymore. With the jumping too, like I'm correcting that, which we'll go over all that, but I'm just kind of giving a rundown of just like what's gone on so far, and then what we're going to do for the rest of the program. So that's
So
that's
you said when she's in the area where she's placed, that's after she's already been doing things, or is that?
So typically like that's like a concentrated session of like we're just gonna work on place, because actually place looks really simple, but for a dog like Stormie, who apparently has tangled my leash, she has many skills. Place for a dog like her who. Impulse control she's not very gifted with impulse control, so making her sit there for 5 or 10 minutes on place is like a whole workout for her, because she's having to really try to push to not break the rules. And that's why we do those sessions there, because then by the time I take the dog out, the impulse control is better, and we can start like adding more things. Like I can add distance, right? We can have more people. Eventually we walk by dogs, stuff like that. So that's like, you should see some videos like with like me out at this park actually. Maybe a couple like store videos. Sometimes I'll take the dogs like to downtown Raleigh. That's like kind of like a final test, the final boss. Yeah. So that's.
Why did you park all the way on the moon?
I don't know.
Sir.
Oh, the blue one doesn't work. No, I'm messing with you.
I'll push you off this bridge.
I'm taking Stormie with me. No, I'm just joking.
I'll take the dog.
And the video's over.
Well, yeah.
Session's over.
She's like, I'm gonna push you. I'm just like, no witnesses. No. About to give some Holy Spirit. No, okay. So yeah, so Claudia, like I said, has worked first 2 weeks, and then that's what the rest of the 2 weeks are gonna look like with her. She's on track though. She's doing really, really good. She's smart.
She is. I love hanging out with her.
And actually, she handles the e-collar really well. Like she doesn't like howl. She's gonna do it this one time to like be dramatic in front of you, but like she doesn't howl or anything. She takes it as just like, oh, I gotta like back up whatever I'm doing. She takes it really well, because some dogs when they start, you have to teach them what the e-collar means. But she naturally handles it really well. We're doing the infamous tangle. Oop, there we go. They do it on like every session. Yeah, especially the energetic puppies.
They love to make us look like fools, honestly. I swear. Especially the puppies, like they live for it. Like the older dogs, sometimes they're super chill and they're like, oh yeah, let me show off what I can do. I'm on my best behavior. But the puppies, they're like, yeah, you've been working hard for me? No one's gonna believe you. You don't look like a liar.
What did you learn? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's like the same thing when you ask like little kids when they come home from school, like, "Oh, what'd you learn at school today?" I had fun at snack time.
Lunch.
When I first started doing the sessions, I used to talk to the dog before. I'd like take out the crate, like, "You're gonna make me look good," and I just had this vision of the dog being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make you look great," and the shepherd walks out, "Mom, you wasted all of your money. They're cons." Just like
This is all a lie.
yeah, because I've had that happen, and then like I kind of like fixed it there, but for a second they gave me a face of like, "You had him for 4 weeks. What did you do?"
Right.
Yeah.
We did a lot.
Yeah.
He's just happy to see you.
Yeah.
But you can see even her energy level's way calmer. Like she's actually like
Settles pretty quick.
she's not like going all over the place. I mean, she's still got some oomph to her,
yeah.
but we're gonna keep working on that.
She's doing great with the in-house stuff that I'm sure Sean already explained.
Yeah.
That's why I've been working with her for the past week and a
You've
half.
now called me
I
the
know,
name of every
I
coworker
called you
today.
Everybody.
Except me.
Except you.
Yeah.
I called you Jaden. I called you Chris.
Connor is such a rare name though.
It is.
No.
I mean,
I'm like, Christian.
I know,
I called him Christian earlier too, and that's bad. That's really bad.
because that's your man's.
I know Christian's my husband. I know what he looks like. Do I?
I mean, I hope you do. You have 2 kids with him. I would hope that you know what he looks like.
I do.
Who's the dancer?
That's Jaden.
Yes, Jaden. Yes. Jaden's all.
You gotta go training for dancing. That's what
I know.
Dude, he's actually
Every time I'm in a video, he's like, "Oh, should I be like?"
he's a really good dancer. Like he practices for like a lot of like Spanish parties, and he's really good at all those dances.
He practices all day with the dogs. Every now and then we'll come down if there's like a.
Yeah.
Usually like a shepherd or the doodles. The doodles love it. He'll grab their front paws and you look down. They're like down there doing like the cat or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Well, and I have like a little bit of like a James Brown fixate. He's one of my favorite artists. And then Jaden started listening to James Brown, and he learned how to do that split that he used to do, where he would like jump on the ground and then come back up. He's really good at like just
Oh yeah, he can.
very, very physically gifted in that area. Yeah.
Good for him. I'm so happy.
You can rollerblade though, so
I can rollerblade.
and I can't.
Ah.
How's she doing with eating? She's eating good?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, is she eating good? Yeah.
She's a puppy. Yeah.
Yep.
She gotta find somewhere to build that muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, she's like panting in the heat.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, it might just like in this case, it's excitement.
Yeah.
If I saw like drooling and stuff and like she was hot, then I'd be like, okay, we need to get some water. But I think honestly, she's just really hyped.
Yeah.
Um, so the part that I'm gonna go over now is probably the most complicated bit of my spiel. But it sounds complicated. I'll make it sound really simple. So you have ways that we communicate with the dogs, right? And so there's 2 ways we do that. We do that through markers and commands.
Okay.
And I think commands is fairly like self-explanatory. I mean, it's a command. So if you say sit, the dog has to sit. You say down, whatever. The other one are markers, and that's not necessarily a position the dog gets in. It's kind of like, I wish dogs spoke English. It would make my job a lot easier. But whenever I yell at them in English, they don't seem to respond. So, I love you, dog. What's that video?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way markers are is basically it's a word that you use to condition the dog to know if they've done something like good or bad, right? So we have, it's called the 4 quadrants of operant conditioning. That sounds fancy. I'm not gonna make you repeat that to me. I'm gonna make it sound really simple. It's 4, right? You have two positives and 2 negatives. So you have negative and positive punishment, and then negative and positive reinforcement. Reinforcement means we're gonna encourage a behavior. Punishment means we're gonna discourage it, right? It sounds really complicated. It's just, if you're positive or negative reinforcement, you're either adding or taking something away to encourage a behavior. So, negative is to take away, positive is to add. Same idea with the punishment, right? I'm either going to add something as a punishment or take something away that's a punishment. And it's...
Comes a big dog.
Yeah, I saw him walking around earlier. And it looks the same, actually, because it's more about how the dog receives the info, right? So, as an example, if I want to reinforce a behavior, let's say like a sit, nope, then I'm going to use a reinforcement marker to encourage the dog to go back into a sit. Whereas if she's jumping or maybe stealing food off of a table, or she mauls a kid's face off, I mean, that's not gonna happen, but I use that as a very comical example. Then that's gonna be a punishment, because I don't like, I don't usually encourage dogs to like bite people's faces off. That's a really bad habit. I try not.
We try not to encourage.
Yeah, it's just not one of those great things. You know, it's like biting your nails. No. So the way that we have that though is a word that communicates the idea to the dog. So we have like an ant, kind of like when like little kids, right? Like touching the stove, you're like, ant, don't do that. And for her, that's her reinforcement. And then the punishment is like a loud, like, nope. And you'll always use one of those words and then the e-collar.
Okay.
And again, if you say ant versus e-collar and then nope versus e-collar, it looks exactly the same, except minus like one word to the outside. But to her brain, she's taking the info as two very different things. It's either oh, I need to go back into this, like I messed up, let me go back into this behavior. Or it means, oh, that's a bad behavior, I can't do it ever again.
Okay.
Right.
Yellow light, red light.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yellow light is the warning, like you're pushing it.
yeah, like for instance,
Red light is like you're done.
Okay.
I just trained a Rottweiler who she was really, really sweet, but one of her main issues was that she sent two of the dogs that she lives with to the ER, right? She's sweet, but it was like a dominant kind of behavior thing. So in that case, I used the nope marker because if she bit a dog and then I went, she'd be like, wait, like again? And
Like,
right?
Oh, yeah. I can do it a little bit worse than that. Okay.
Yeah, whereas if it's a nope, it's like, you can't do this. And like, this is it's not allowed. I don't want to see it again. Just because you say I don't want to see it again once, you might have to say it a couple times. Because, you know, when you tell a kid to not do something, they never do it again. So,
Of
course.
Listen the first time.
yeah, always. It's without fail, yeah.
That's why Evelina is such a dream.
Yes, yeah, such a dream.
If you tell her no a million times,
A million
she still
times.
A fever dream. No. So that's how we communicate with the dogs. So, you know, I don't want you to think I was about to go down a whole psychological lecture. It's very simple to understand. It sounds fancy. So it kind of brings me into the next thing, which is talking about like conditioning, right? So that's how we do that, is if every single time I go and then she feels the e-collar and then I move her back into the sit, she learns what the word means. Or like that dog that just walked by. When I start taking her out to the park, because another command we use, which I don't know how if you've done a ton with that command yet, the let's go. So let's go and come can look similar.
Yeah.
And I don't like her recall is kind of hard to train a recall in the room. So that's again what I'm doing. But a recall kind of looks like this. If I go, Stormie, come, right? And again, she doesn't know it, but she has to stop right here and then stand in front of me. Okay. Oh, look at that. You made me look really good. Thank you. Whereas the let's go is a directional thing where it's like, Stormie, let's go. And we're just going to kind of move in this like general direction. It's more of just like a, hey, you're fixated on something. You know, since you have a bully breed puppy, she's going to fixate on things. That's just, you know, like that. I mean, so you're going to have to. But the thing is, you say, let's go, and then she immediately unfixates and follows along. And it's the same thing with the dogs. If I say, let's go every single time we walk by a dog, her brain starts to go, well, every time we walk by a dog, he says, let's go. I'm going to predict it this time. And so it just looks like a seamless, I don't care about the dog.
Okay.
Right. And so that's kind of going to be like the other thing.
She's already know when she sees a dog, we're going to move.
Yeah, because the two ways that you teach a dog are what we've already been talking about with conditioning, and the other way that you teach, and I just lost my train of thought, isn't that fun?